ドジャースの大谷翔平投手は、日本時間3月19日、アリゾナ州グレンデールで行われた、ジャイアンツとのオープン戦に先発登板をしました。この日の大谷選手は、指名打者として打席には立たず、投手に専念。気温37度という暑さの中での登板も、4回、3分の1、61球を投げ、1安打、無失点、4奪三振、2四球、最速は 99.9 マイル、約 160.8 キロという圧巻の投球を披露。この投球に、この試合でマスクをかぶった2年目のラッシング捕手は、すべての球種を使った。どの球も本当にキレが良かった。速球には誰もが圧倒されたよ。と称賛のコメント。また、試合後のロバーツ監督は、WBC 以降、あまり実戦で投げていない中で、ここまで仕上がっていることに、驚きましたかとの記者からの質問に、正直、少し驚いたよ。これまでの経験で分かっているのは、彼を過小評価してはいけないということですね。と、コメントしました。また、試合後に取材に応じた大谷選手は、正直、スプリングトレーニング初登板という感覚はあまりなかったです。どちらかというと、ライブ BP の延長という感じで捉えていました。と、この日の登板を振り返っていました。また、米メディア、JM ベースボールに、ドジャースのミゲルロハス選手が出演し、今、米国で話題となっている WBC とワールドシリーズはどっちが上かの論争に答える場面も。ここからはその様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
Winds down in this afternoon at Camelback Ranch. It's the San Francisco Giants taking on your back-to-back world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Hi again, everybody, with Rick Monday. I'm Tim Never. Kirsten Watson will join us in just a minute. This is a day in spring training a lot of Dodger fans have been waiting for. Shohei Ohtani's getting back on the mound, and we expect him to pitch about 4 innings today.
And today is going to be pitch on Friday. We'll see him actually as a hitter and in the lineup. But for Shohei, coming back and some big numbers, obviously, during the season itself. That was only half of the scenario. Because then when postseason play got underway, well, it was another Shohei Ohtani, and especially when we start to talk about both sides of the baseball as a pitcher and as the designated hitter.
And for Ohtani, this will be his penultimate warm-up before the regular season, as he is expected to pitch 1 game in the Freeway Series as well. We're counting it down to the first pitch in Glendale. It's the Giants and the Dodgers coming up. Getting you ready for this one. It's a hot afternoon on this Wednesday in Glendale. Let's go down on the field right now and check in with Kirsten.
Thanks, Tim. Well, Shohei Ohtani, of course, has the start today, and Dave Roberts said that the plan for him is to hopefully get through 3, maybe even 4 innings as he continues to build up to prepare for the regular season. But the big question today was, considering he's only pitching, he's not in as the DH today, is that something we could potentially see come the regular season? And Dave said, of course, nothing is set in stone. They're going to follow how Shohei Ohtani feels, but there is a chance we could potentially see a game in which he is just pitching on the mound and maybe not in as the DH. But we will see him for sure as the DH in the game on Friday, guys.
No matter what, he's going to contribute somehow, some way, and he still creates awe among other players all around baseball, whether it's the World Baseball Classic or the major leagues. Shohei Ohtani is the top player, so looking forward to seeing him go today. 14 starts last year, 1-1, 2.87 ERA, 62 strikeouts in 47 innings pitched.
That number itself is really kind of an eye-opener. And it's not just the fastball, it's the breaking stuff as well. And consistent as a pitcher. And he just wonders at how much of his knowledge as a hitter transcends and is really reaping the benefits, knowing what a hitter is thinking now in a pitching mode.
Well, Dave, Shohei Ohtani, of course, had the start. His first outing this spring as a pitcher. Of course, was able to pitch into the 5th inning. What did you just see from him today?
I thought it was good. You know, I think that obviously he knows that we're getting close to starting, so there was certainly a lot of focus, and it wasn't as crisp as I'm sure he would have wanted it, but I think, you know, it just speaks to how talented he is, and to be able to touch the 5th inning, it was a win. He felt good coming out of it.
Yeah, of course he has one more you mentioned that's going to be in the Freeway Series. Is there anything else you kind of want to see from him before he gets ready for the regular season?
I don't think so. You know what, I think for us, I mean, he knows what it takes to get ready, and you know, his arsenal is his arsenal. He feels good with it. So, you know, that last outing, so whether we can kind of get through the 5th inning or touch the 6th, not sure yet, but I'm sure he's going to be ready to go. He did. You know, he's all, I didn't know what he said after the game, but, you know, just talking to Mark, the stuff was really good. It's going to get more crisp as he gets out there and gets regular pitching, but man, it was really good. He knows he only has a couple outings before the start of the season, so he was focused today, and to have him touch the 5th inning was a huge win for us.
Are you surprised at how sharp he looked, considering like he'd only been throwing last this morning?
I was, but I guess I've learned that, you know, you don't ever underestimate or try to kind of make predictions on what Shohei's going to do, and he's always going to deliver. And yeah, I thought it'd be a little bit more rusty than he was today, but the breaking ball was good. Got some swing and miss. The fastball command, he was working ahead in the count today, so across the board, really good.
What might him doing 5-ups today mean for him, his length in the regular season?
Yeah, you know what? I think certainly, you know, well beyond where we were last year to start. You know, we'll see once he pitches in the Freeway Series if it's 5 innings or he's going to touch the 6th. I don't know, but you know, with what I saw today, with what we saw, we're in a really good spot.
How important do you think it is for him to make 25 or so starts, considering he's only done it once in his career?
It's important. I think it's important to him. You know, he's you know, one of our best pitchers, and for him to have, you know, foundation being past the surgery with what he did last year, knowing that he can take down, you know, starts in the 20s, it just makes us, you know, makes us better, and I know that's what he's expecting from himself.
Well, just Shohei, for you to continue with your progression while you're away from the team with Team Japan, to be able to get into that 5th inning today, how good are you feeling just in regard to where your stuff is at and how your build-up is going?
ライブ EP もちゃんとやってたので、そういう意味ではその延長線上として今日初めてでしたけど、あんまりその初めてだっていう感覚もなく投げれたので、自然な感じで入れたかなと思ってます。
It actually didn't feel like it was my first spring training outing. I do see this as more of an extension of a live BP situation. So honestly, it didn't feel too bad going into this game.
You'll have one more, Dave Roberts said, in the Freeway Series. Is there anything you're looking to achieve just as you close out spring training to prepare for the regular season?
全体的には球数は投げれたのでそこが一番良かったですし、2ストライク後からもう少しこうしっかりと三振に取れるところあったのかなとは思うので、そこが唯一課題かなと思います。
I was pretty happy with the pitch count today. In terms of the next outing, I do want to be better at executing in 2-strike counts. I just didn't finish off hitters as much as I wanted to.
Do you feel at all that you have to do this in a hurry because of the short time before opening day now?
どうなんですかね。試合スプリントトレーニングもありますけど、野手で言うならWBC はね、こう本当により実践的というか雰囲気も含めて、この早い時期にそういうトーナメントができるっていうのは逆にプラスな部分あると思うので、確かにこうちょっと駆け足な部分、早く作る部分ありましたけど、決してマイナスの部分だけではないのかなと思ってます。
In terms of the hitting, it did help that I played in an atmosphere that was, pretty intense and competitive. So the fact that I had to get things going earlier in the off season maybe was the only thing that really affected my preparation, but it did really help me. I think it helped me more so than it hurt me as I played through these meaningful games in the World Baseball Classic.
Now that you're another year removed from the surgery and have had closer to a normal kind of off-season spring build-up, like what can you do pitching-wise that you weren't able to do last year?
そうですね。いい意味で10月は潰れたんですけど、その短い中で通常のオフシーズントレーニング含めてしっかりできたのはピッチングにとっても、バッティングにとってもそうですけど助けになるんじゃないかなとは思ってますし、1年間健康でまずは過ごすのが一番目標かなと思います。
in a good way, I think October was spent on playing meaningful games. So in a way, my shorter off season was spent more efficiently. So I did see it eventually as a plus in terms of, in terms of all the preparation that I needed to do to get to the season.
Dave and Andrew have said they want to be kind of mindful with your pitching workload, maybe giving you extra time between starts, whether it be 7, 8, 9 days. Do you want that, or do you feel like you can make pretty regular turns through the rotation this year and pitch what would be a normal kind of pitching workload?
まあそうですね、自分としてはそのつもりでもちろん行きますし、伸びる分にはもちろんそこまで難しいことではないので、幸いにもピッチャー揃ってますし、一番の目標はやっぱポストシーズンに全員が健康な状態でいくことだとは思うので、そこのマネジメントの部分に関しては特に僕からこうしたいということはなく、僕としては5、6で行くつもりで、伸びる分にはその都度対応できればいいんじゃないかなと思ってます。
I mean, my intent is to, be in the rotation under normal rest, normal circumstances. Now, if the management thinks that, I need extra rest, I'll take it, but I'll let the management kind of handle that. And just looking at our roster, we have a lot of pitchers. It doesn't hurt to rest more. So in that sense, I'll let the management kind of handle that. But for me, my intention is to, be on normal rest and prepare for that.
How important would it be for you?
You said before that pitching more innings is one of those things that can put you in the conversation for the Cy Young. Do you think that starting the season fully or close to fully built up gets you closer to that?
それはね、イニング重ねれば、それだけ多くの機会があれば、そういった勝利に近づくことはもちろん、その通りだとは思いますけど、初めからそのためにプレーするということはないですし、無理に縮めて投げる、そのために投げるということはもちろんないので、さっき言った通り全員がポストシーズンにまずは健康な状態で行くのが優先だと思うので、例えばピッチャーの数が減ってきたとか、誰かが怪我で抜けたとか、そういうことで増えていくことももちろんあると思いますし、そこは臨機応変に対応できればいいんじゃないかなと思ってます。
Yeah, I would never want to sacrifice our chance of winning and performing in the postseason. So I think that's really the number one goal in my mind. So just because I want to try to win the Cy Young and throw more innings, that's not necessarily the priority over winning a championship. So with that being said, if there's a situation where there's some injuries and I do have to pitch in a shorter rest, I'm happy to do so. And
Last one, guys.
How important would it be for you just to get to the 25 start marker? Something that's close to that, because I think you've only topped that once in your career, just to show that you can sort of go wire to wire as a pitcher.
そうですね、先発ピッチャーである以上は登板を重ねるっていうのはもちろん大事ですし、イニングももちろんそうですけど、そのローテーションを守っていくっていうのもまた大事なことではあるので、さっきも言った通り全員が本当に難しいことだとは思うので、開幕のローテーションをそのまま維持し続けて最後まで走るっていうのは、30球団の中でも、1球団あればいいんじゃないかなぐらいだとは思いますし、本当に臨機応変に対応するのがベストな道じゃないかなと思っています。
Yeah, I do see that as an important benchmark as a starting pitcher. Ideally in a situation where everybody makes, 25 starts, that's the ideal situation, but it's hard to find that nowadays. I mean, if you find one in 30 teams, that's how rare it is. So, I think what's more important is to just be flexible, adjustable, and making sure that, we're, having the goal in mind rather than the starts that we need to be.
All right, I'm going to ask you this because you're qualified, even though you're not officially a member of the Venezuelan WBC team. You obviously, that's all in your heart. What is bigger? Is it the World Series? Is it the WBC? Or are people just saying the WBC because that's what we're in right now? Where do you sit on that whole thing?
Well, I mean, it's really hard for me to say WBC because I have never played one of them. I don't really know what the players feel when they're on the stadium playing for their country, in front of their fans. especially in Miami, that we have a lot of Venezuelans. Our community in Miami is incredible. And like Michael Garcia said yesterday, it feels like you're playing in a Venezuelan field, and that gotta be pretty awesome. I never got the opportunity to do that as a player, but I got the opportunity to play in the last 2 World Series. And just because I grew up watching baseball when WBC never kind of like it wasn't part of the equation. So I was always dreaming about winning the World Series because that's the biggest accomplishment as a player that you can have. And it's really hard to win a championship in the big leagues when you have to face 30 teams and 30 teams are preparing and getting ready to win a championship, right? So it's kind of like WBC is like getting your pass already to the playoff, right? But you don't have to go through 162 games grind to get there. So I'm not gonna go against what Kike has said. The WBC is way more important because playing for this country and this jersey in front of your chest, it means a lot. And I'm pretty sure that's what everybody kind of referring to. Winning for your country is bigger than winning just for the team that you represent and you getting the opportunity to play in the big leagues with. But it's gotta be a different feeling and a different feel of like, okay, what did just accomplish? It's pretty special that you can win a championship, but at the end of the day, winning a World Series, it takes a little bit longer to get there, and there's a special grind that you have to go to be there.
Yeah, that's a great explanation. I mean, listen, we've heard your Dodgers teammate Kike Hernandez say, the WBC would be bigger for him, even though he's won multiple rings with the Dodgers. Of course, he's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Julio Rodriguez said, hey, Seattle, I love you. I play my ass off for you, but the WBC would be very special to this Dominican. Juan Soto, who won a ring with the Nationals, said something similar. And by the way, I'm not going to jump down anybody's throat. I always equate it this way. Not that I was ever good enough to win anything.
Right.
But I would say this. I love what I do for a living. I love working at John Boy Media. I love working at NFL. I love working for America. But I love my family more.
Right.
And I love my country. And I think it would be really cool to accomplish something that way. And it's not exactly apples to apples. I understand that. But that's the way I kind of look at it, is that there are some things that are near and dear to your heart that it doesn't matter where you work for a living. You're always going to be drawn back to something where, during your formative years that made you the person that you are, that made you, grow up a certain way. And I think that we just got to cut people slack. It's not a shot at the New York Mets fans when Juan Soto says it. It's not a shot
That's
at the
right.
Mariners fans. It's not a shot at Dodgers fans for Kike Hernandez. It's whatever they believe in their heart, and that's okay.
Yeah, and I gotta say this: like, if you win the World Series for the Los Angeles Dodgers, for example, we did the last couple of years, you're gonna be a pretty big deal in LA, right? But probably in Venezuela, people will forget about that, and they sometimes they wouldn't care that much about like you winning in the World Series where you're working so far away from home. But when you put this uniform on, it's like you're gonna be all those guys on the field today. They're gonna be legends in Venezuela forever. They're gonna be remembered where they grew up. Like they gonna receive an special treatment for life at the place that you kind of started like living life, and that's way more special than just being in just one city or winning multiple championships for different cities in states. When you have really like your feelings are really tied to that community. And for me, especially Los Angeles is gonna be kind of home away from home just because I accomplished so much there already, and I feel like I'm gonna continue to grow my life, and my family is gonna be attached to LA forever. But it will never be the same if I'm a legend in Venezuela for one reason or another.
I've got two other things I want to hit on very quickly, and then we'll go. Future of the World Baseball Classic. There are a lot of people, and I'm toying with it as well because I'm not sure. There's not a perfect time to play this tournament. Can't do it after the season. Guys they're checked out. Long season. this feels like the best time because guys are gearing up. They're all together. Some have said the all-star break. Let's have it for 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever. Maybe we split the tournament. We have pool play in the spring training. Then we play the quarterfinals, the semis, and the final all during the all-star break and expand the all-star break a little bit. Would you be good with that?
No, I think the timing of it is right now. It's gotta be in spring training. You don't wanna give the guys in the middle of the year a 2-week break every 3 years because that is not what we used to. It's gotta be on this time. I think everybody can get ready in the off season a little bit better to start playing games. There's a lot of ways for us to get live VPs and get on the field and play a little bit of a scrimmage game for the next one. But one thing that I have to add that I feel WBC will be so much better with. So we play this tournament every 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking if we play this tournament in one specific place in the world every single year, right? So let's talk about United States hosted this year, right? So it's gonna be Miami, Houston, and let's say somewhere else, whatever they want to put it in, Atlanta or whatever is hot for us to play, Arizona, let's say. Next time the WBC comes around is in Asia. So they play, all the teams go to Japan, all the teams go to Korea and play pool play over there, quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. I know that the next time they go to Latin America, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and hopefully Venezuela when Venezuela get the opportunity to host. I think we have the field, we have the everything that you see how those 2 games in Dominican Republic went. You see the atmosphere in Puerto Rico. So you have 3 places where you can do it and go in a rotation every 3 years. You go to a different place in the world. So I feel like those teams that play in Asia, the first round, the pool play, and they have to fly all the way to Miami for the 18 hours, it sucks for them,
Sure
and they have to just fly all the time, play a game after you haven't played in 5-6 days. It's not fair for them, So
Wow.
I feel like that's something that I would like to see from the WBC perspective, and I don't think anybody will be mad then you have to go to Latin America, either Japan, Korea, or whatever they play over there, and another time we do it in United States.
So do you think Aaron Judge would hop on a plane for 2.5 weeks and head to Japan?
I think if we did it last year and the whole Dodger team did it last year for a full week of baseball, and it was amazing. I mean, you're not going to do it every year. You're going to do it every 3 years. And
right.
That's probably going to be your only time that you're going to do it, because the next time is going to be in Latin America that is not too far from Miami and Florida. And the other time is going to be in United States. So you're not really going to do it every 3 years. You're going to do it like every 9 years. So by the time you got to do it again, you're probably not playing anymore.
I get that. The only thing is, I think the TV's the problem when you put it in.
I get it.
In Japan or South Korea, then you lose the entire United States basically from watching.
Correct.
So that's the only hard part. I think if we could figure out the logistics, I love where your head's at, because I think that the atmospheres are amazing. Like, I want to get to the Tokyo Dome. I want to get to the Dominican Republic. I want to get to Puerto Rico as a baseball fan and experience all that. So that's really, really good.
Yeah, if you're doing this to grow the game,
you're right.
That's the right answer. If you're doing it for money and you're doing it for TV money and viewers, there you go. That's the answer.
Well. We are going to predict our 2026 MVP winners, then compare our predictions to the award winners within a simulated MLB The Show season. So we're going to do AL and we're going to do NL. I'm going to start in the NL. I don't know how in the world, I want to try and challenge myself, but is there any way, as long as Shohei Ohtani is healthy, that I can go against him? I mean, the guy has won 4 MVPs, second to Barry Bonds. And I think he's going to win his 4th straight, and now 5th overall. as long as he pitches, and he is scheduled to pitch this year, and as long as he plays 150 games, which he basically does every year, what does he have to do to not win the MVP? Have like an ERA of 5 and an OPS of 807? Like, that's not going to happen as long as he's healthy. I tried to scour through there. Like last year, I said my dark horse was Jackson Chourio. He's going to be my NL MVP dark horse. And he wasn't close, right? Helped the Brewers become the best regular season team around. Awesome. Kid's 21 years old. Cool. Love it. Ohtani is lapping the field. So I can't, as much fun as it is to pick somebody off the beaten path a little bit, I can't do it. I just cannot do it. That gets me to the American League. And why would I pick against Aaron Judge? I don't know why I would, to be honest with you. I don't know if I can. But I'm going to try. And I honestly believe this, that I think this is the year for Bobby Witt Jr., in part because I think they're the biggest challenge to the Detroit Tigers in the American League Central. And I think that his game is just awesome. Both sides of the baseball. We saw what he did in the World Baseball Classic. Great glove, great arm. The guy can steal between 35 and 50 bags, depending on his season. He's going to hit 30 home runs. Would I like to see his on-base percentage jump back up? It was right around 350 last year. It was way closer to 400 the season before when I think he finished runner-up for MVP. But in the last 3 MVP races, he's finished 7th, 2nd, and then 4th. And I think part of the reason, if they win the division, which they could, I'm going to pick Detroit probably. I'll give you my answers next week before the regular season starts. But if they can steal the division, then I think he's going to get some serious consideration because at some point, people are going to get Aaron Judge fatigue. And unlike Shohei, he can't show us something new or different or better on the mound. Remember, Shohei only made 14 starts last year. So if the guy makes 22 or 23 and still has an ERA under 3 and 12 Ks per 9, then we go, wow, like he's in Cy Young consideration. Aaron Judge doesn't have that part of the game. So I suppose if I'm going to go against one of those guys, it'll be Aaron Judge because I just think Bobby Witt is awesome. So there you go.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。